go. Good morning. I call to order the 2022-2023 budget workshop for the Carrabelle Community Redevelopment Agency. It's Tuesday morning, August 16th, 2022 at 10:02 a.m. We're at the Carrabelle City Hall Chambers. And as this is a workshop, the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance is not required. And Ms. Keisha, would you do the roll call for us?
We got Ms. Chase Chisholm here, Commissioner Brown here, Commissioner Allen is absent, Mayor LaPaz here, Commissioner Walden here, Commissioner Millender.
Okay, thank you. And then we have the City Clerk, Keisha Messer, and our City Administrator and CRA Director, Courtney Dempsey, with us. First, we'll review the capital project suggestions that we discussed at the June and July CRA meetings, and then finally the draft budget that's already posted, and I see everybody has one in front of them. So, did you have those suggestions to post or to put up on the, there you go. So we talk about rehabbing the entire old water plant facility there on Southeast Avenue C. Then we talk about and we approved the Mariners Memorial. It seems like Chester was trying to get a lot of volunteer work for that. I think Courtney has some information to report later. We talked about road repairs and resurfacing are needed on the Gray Avenue area from the Barefoot Lane just east of the old school building to Northeast 12th Street. And I believe we had asked Russell in one of our meetings to get a geotechnical of that area. So we'll find out today. Let's remember to ask him today. At our meeting, allocate additional funding to the commitment of the Marine Street Revitalization Project, the Veterans Veterans Park Flagpole Memorial, unmet needs from the Northwest Avenue B project, repair the flagpole at Old Coast Guard Dock, solution for the fish waste disposal at the Marine Street fish cleaning station. Plant some shade trees at Sands Park for shade, park benches at Sands Park around the walk bike path, replace fencing at Sands Park, rehab the CRA district maintenance program. And then our usual ongoing projects, we have the street signs and lot cleanup, pole mounted Christmas decorations, murals, facade grants, promotion, holiday on the harbor, fireworks, and those ongoing projects we'll go over in the budget, and we can, I think there are some amounts suggested there from our year-end projections, and Keisha got an updated quote on the fireworks, so we'll look at all of that. I have one other item that we didn't discuss, that we have some stormwater management plan, stormwater management issues in the CRA district, and we've got one property owner that complains fiercely about stormwater running onto their property there at the first block of Northwest 11th Street, right there as you turn off the bridge. So we might want to even consider having some, at least design for some stormwater management plans there in that area. That would at least be a start and kind of give us an idea of what it would cost to do some stormwater improvements there.
I think we'd had Russell look at that already, haven't we?
We have in the past, and I do think he has some. I don't know that he's come up with a design, but I think he's got some ideas.
Some ideas, yeah.
It seemed like sometimes someone told me that it could make it even worse in that area, because there's nowhere to put the water except put it down towards the river. And so I don't know. I'm not the engineer. I can't tell you.
Well, I agree. We need to have Russell look at it in more in depth and see what we can do to help the situation.
We do have on the budget, we have consultation, we've got a budget for that where they can, he can do that kind of work. So, we were fortunate this year that we got from the property appraisers, they sent over these 2 documents. We just learned this year that they do that early in the year, so going forward, we'll be able to understand more exactly what they're paying, what their portion will be. They calculate that, the property appraiser calculates that about in July, so that the county can make their budget because they pay. And so we can take, the staff can take these numbers from the values in the increment area, CRA district, and calculate what the city's payments will be also. And Courtney and I calculated the city's payment, because we don't know what our millage rate is, it's calculated on the millage rate, by using the lowest rollback rate. And that way, if we can't go any lower than the rollback rate, I don't think, or I don't know if we would or not. But
we can go
we can go lower,
yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that would be an average between the highest we can go and the lowest we can go, which was 8.3, something like that.
Right, and that goes for the county as well, because we don't necessarily always know what their millage rate, we just know what they propose, so
Yeah.
the numbers aren't set in stone.
Well, these are what they presented to the county.
Right, because that's based on what they're proposing their millage rate, because
Yeah.
they figure.
So
so
that
if
may
they do
change
get
as
in the
well.
meeting and change their millage rate, that can change as well.
And they can go lower, they've got.
They can
people
go
pushing
lower
them
or
to go
higher,
lower. So we'll just, this is all an estimate now on the city portion and the county portion. And the county portion, they have to do 2 different calculations, one on the core district and then one on the expanded district, because it has a different tax base value. And the city will have to do the same thing. But the county's total portion estimated is $113,162, and the city's portion estimated is $158,560. And so that makes the total from the county and the city estimated at $271,772. And the estimated balance forward right now is $221,933. And that could change. It probably won't get any less than that. It will probably be more, but we're just estimating on the low side. So that's a total of $493,655 for our revenues. And Courtney, did you want to review it from here?
I can.
Okay.
We had an estimated 85,000 in, and that was for a full-time. That would take the landscape maintenance money that we have in there now, and at 35,000, and then we would add to it to have a full-time employee in the CRA district. And this was the workup that we had on that. Let's see if I can blow this up so you can see it.
I do have some printouts here.
But even if we go with the $13.50, we've considered $13 an hour and $13.50 an hour, but the $13.50 at the highest could be $48,441. We've added in $15,000 for a vehicle, $1,500 for maintenance and repair vehicle insurance at $1,700. I think the mower's a little low at $960, but we have a dump trailer in here. $9,112.55 that I don't think that we really need to buy another dump trailer. With the street and roads have one, they can always assist this employee if they need something picked up. Communications at $500, uniforms at $1,000, gasoline at $3,500, maintenance and repair equipment at $3,000. So all the support items come to $36,272.55. Now, I was speaking to Commissioner Millender yesterday. He thinks we've got that a little low, that I think some of the maintenance and repairs and stuff, it might be a little higher. Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I just
By
think,
maybe thought that a piece of equipment that they would need that would work out good would be the side-by-side, so they could ride along and pick up the trash, or, but, we just had an estimate in there of $85,000.
Yeah, I did, just comment, and I'm just speaking from experience of equipment purchasing in the past and so forth, and I don't have factual numbers, but I think the startup cost is a little bit low. And again, what I expressed to Courtney yesterday was there's hand tools that the employee's gonna need, and they're gonna be costly. There's things that we're gonna forget that we can't think of everything. But anyway, I was thinking that a side-by-side would be real convenient for the CRA versus a truck working as our contractors have worked in the past with those side-by-sides for safety-wise and maneuvering around in traffic and what have you. And probably be less costly than trying to drive a pickup around and what have you. But anyway, a side-by-side would be real convenient. It's probably not a necessity, but it would be convenient for the CRA district. And the other thing on startup cost on the 85, like I said, I thought that might be a little bit low. And the other thing that I have had some conversation about, and it needs to be worked out if we consider it, is I know Streets and Roads, they have the dump trailer. And I thought about that when they bought the dump trailer, and Dustin and I had a discussion. Their pickups are half-ton pickups, and they're really not heavy-duty enough to pull that dump trailer. Streets and Roads needs to upgrade one of their vehicles to a 3/4 ton style truck where they can effectively pull that and safely pull that dump trailer. So what we might want to consider is moving one of the Streets and Roads trucks, and they're all three in pretty good shape. Moving one of those over to the CRA, if we hire an employee with the CRA, and upgrade one of the Streets and Roads to a 3/4 ton for the dump trailer. And as Courtney expressed, if the CRA project needs the dump trailer for heavy hauling, then we have a 3/4 ton truck that we can do that with. So anyway, that was just some quick ideas I had. That was just quick ideas I had. I see where we could adjust just a little bit, but I think the startup cost, of course, it'll drop a little bit in years to come, but the startup cost, we may need to consider a little bit more funding, especially with tools and what have you, that employee's gonna need to perform their duties. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Well, I took it as the 15,000, that wasn't gonna buy a brand new vehicle anyway.
That's correct, it's just a payment.
Like a lease.
Right.
Lease,
Right.
Yeah. I would say, the dump trailer, I agree, they certainly don't need a dump trailer like that, but they would probably need, some kind of a trailer, landscape trailer of sorts that would
That's
be
correct.
much less expensive than this, but I don't know how much,
That's
if they're
correct.
2,000 or 200, I have no idea. But then that remaining money there could go to be used to purchase the chainsaws, hand tools, all of these little shovels and
Clippers,
blowers and things
saws,
like
and
that.
what have you, to work on the docks, all kinds of stuff.
to do all kinds of.
Drills.
The truck, transfer the truck to the CRA, that's a good idea. The CRA would probably pay what it's worth to the Streets and Roads. That's a fair enough, idea. That the side-by-side, that's certainly a good idea as well. I saw a lot of good work happen from that. I don't know how it would be, I don't know how much one would cost. And
Side by side, just right off the cuff, around 15,000.
That, if we decide to do this, I'm gonna write that down. We might have to do it in stages. We may have to get a truck, work out the truck issue, the first budget, and in the next budget, get the side-by-side, something like that. The weather may not be, if they're working 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, the weather may not always be conducive to be in the side-by-side. They may have to be in the truck as well.
Well, sure.
We don't have a golf cart ordinance, so it's illegal to ride unless it was a street legal. Now, Mr. Myrick had a street legal. Let me put that to remind me.
Yeah, Mr. Myrick's was a side-by-side now. I never knew it was street legal, and it may have been.
It had
And-
the tag and
Has
everything.
tags, turn signals,
On
brake
anything
lights.
goes
Yeah.
under than 35 miles an hour, the road with under 35, as long as it's tagged.
It's street legal, but otherwise, these regular golf carts with no tags or mirrors or anything, that's all illegal. So, you know, it's all good. I like the idea of transferring the truck, because I was concerned about, you know, having to make lease payments, and if we could, I don't know what a truck would be worth, 15 or 20. So that one amount right there would fund the truck the first year, and then the second year you could get your side-by-side. This person could also get certified with the DOC and have at least one inmate, and you could have a lot of productivity and some accountability, you know. The CRA district is much bigger. If you tried to hire a contractor to do all of these things for the CRA district, it would be this much money or more.
Well, I may be wrong, but I know you guys, or most of you that's been here, I've kind of advocated a full-time employee for the CRA district for several years. I see the need, especially now that we've expanded. But anyway, I'll leave that alone too, but that's just my opinion.
I do see the need as well. I think it's justified. I had mentioned that before when you brought it up, that it's justified because we do have much bigger CRA district. Courtney, there was a question on the Florida Redevelopment Association email that came out yesterday about historic CRAs managing historic cemeteries, and so I looked the answer was, it was just another question to go with the first question, so there's no answer. But in the question they talked about, they had it in their CRA plan that the CRA was going to help with the cemeteries. So that's, if we're gonna try to help with the cemetery that's on the
That's right.
south side, we need to put that in the plan. And we're revising the plan right now. And if we had a crew like this, a full-time employee with an inmate or two, they could help that with this cemetery management.
That'd be great, and I see it taking pressure off of our understaffed streets and roads, if you will. Especially with us not getting the inmate labor that we normally, or that we've been accustomed to in the past. I see it taking a little pressure off the streets and roads.
I do too. I think it would help the whole city,
Yes.
really.
It's
Yes.
also easier to manage than a contractor.
Yes.
You know, because they're an employee, so
Right,
That's
they're
right.
held to the same standard.
That's what I had,
That's right.
yeah, talked about, like accountability and that kind of thing. So
Do you mind if I step out and grab a water?
no, I don't. Everything's good. Mr. Commissioner Millender, what do you suggest if you think the 85 is a low? What would you suggest there?
Just quickly, I'd move it up to 100,000.
Well, I mean, we can do that.
I see we have the money to do it.
Yeah, it just depends upon, and that's fine with me,
Yeah.
but it just depends upon what the other board members want to
Exactly.
do for projects, but
I
Courtney,
have
put
a lot
it,
of questions.
okay, put it there and see, and let's go with the questions.
So would Streets and Roads also be helping this person out? Because the expanded district, I mean, it's most of Carrabelle.
It's about 1/3 of Carrabelle, if that.
Right. But,
So-
so would it just be on that one person to handle all of that, or would Streets and Roads be helping as well?
On the specifications right now, Streets and Roads mows all of the right-of-ways in the CRA district. They're supposed to do that, and they mow the right-of-ways everywhere right now, they do that. And then on the specifications right now, the contractor mows and weed eats all the small parks like Veterans Park and the Riverwalk Park and landscaping, you know, they take care of the small retail stuff.
But a lot of our expanded district doesn't have landscape, and I don't see us putting landscape in them back areas because it's just too much to maintain.
It's mostly just residential.
I would see this person probably picking up the trash on the side of the right of ways and maybe even taking over some of the mowing, but that's really most of what they're gonna do in the new expanded area.
And we know that we have to increase our pay, we discussed that last year. Do you really think that pay, suggested pay is enough for this much responsibility?
Well, I think that's about what our streets and roads people are making. I think Courtney's gonna look it up and try to find it
I
out.
don't know what, we got this one at $13.50.
I first had the same thought,
That's pretty
Commissioner.
close to what the starting salary is on the.
we're gonna be moving up salaries to get to that level over the next couple of years. And a beginning salary for a, if you will, a laborer person, and that's basically what it is. That's probably a pretty decent introductory rate, that's just my opinion. And, but definitely we'll be moving it up, but we'll be moving it up along with everyone else with these increases over the next couple of years.
I mean,
I
if
sent
they're
you that
gonna be
Wednesday.
in charge
Yeah, I got it
of
right here, so I was
inmates,
looking at.
and then they're in charge of a third of the city, it just seems like they would be making a little more than a starting rate.
The laborer, if we go through, the laborers,
Yeah,
the laborers right now are making $13.86 and $13.46.
and they make $2,000 incentive pay, which this one would qualify for as well, if they have DOC, if they're DOC certified when they manage
What's
inmates.
is it 2,000 a year?
So that's basically $1 an hour above what this published rate is. And then we have to remember, what is the total loaded labor cost?
Well, I mean, this is already lower than what we pay the regular streets and roads laborers.
Is it, Keisha?
What, compared to what they make right now, I mean, $13.50 would be more than the lowest,
Oh, I thought you said 1386.
86 and 46.
And I talked to Dustin about this, and he said, oh, Miss Brenda, please don't. But we might be obligated to advertise to hire from in-house.
He said, please, what, don't?
Yeah, please don't hire and advertise, and he doesn't want, but you know, if you did that, you would get an experienced,
Well, we've done it in the
yeah,
past.
advertise in-house, and then we would advertise for a new employee to work directly under Dustin.
The problems, a lot of people don't want to supervise those inmates.
Yeah,
That's a job of itself, keeping them,
yeah,
costing you your job.
I know, it's a big
It
responsibility.
is a big responsibility. I've already been there and done it.
Yeah, and right now, we've got 3 people that are doing that.
I'm with the inmate thing and the inmate supervisor
Yeah, that's
thing.
free labor.
However, my mind is staying focused on a employee. To me, the inmates is kind of like icing on the cake. We can eat the cake as long as I get the cake, but the icing is extra.
Yeah, just because they don't have an inmate, they don't mean they don't have to work today.
Exactly.
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
work.
I mean, they have to take that equipment themselves.
And go to
I
work.
have seen them out there working.
But they don't get inmates every day now.
No, they don't.
They don't get but 1 or 2 when they do.
Is this a job description we have in the HR manual, or do we have to do that whole committee? And
It could be, we've got a good specifications that was drawn up by Russell, and that has been revised a little bit.
Yeah, I would think right off the cuff that position description would be modified a little bit. I mean, it's gonna be very similar to streets and roads, but it's gonna be specific to the CRA. That's just my
Right.
thinking, so.
Because of the landscaping, I would say right off, the landscaping needs special attention, which it, you know, it's not getting right now. And they could help with the hanging of the Christmas lights, you know, anything that goes on in the CRA.
CRA. To me, they wouldn't necessarily help, they'd be the primary focus, and streets and roads could help them.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got, you know, someone working 40 hours a week with the option of having 1 or 2 inmates with them, maybe 20 hours a week, we say, something like that. And versus you've got someone now, you're paying half that and you're getting maybe 10 hours a week.
Well, they have multiple people, it's not.
Yeah, good with keeping it full-time in here, or?
I'd say, let's just move on and
We
see
just, yeah, we gotta figure it out. It's
how
a
we
lot.
want to spend on other items here.
We got accounting and audit, we've been running about 10,000, we kept that the same. The training and travel, we moved up a little bit, we did 1,000 for each last year, we're gonna put it up to 3,000 for travel and 3,000 for training. Our utilities was down a little bit this year, so we've moved that down to about 5,000. Our liability, errors and omissions insurance is the same, 5,000. Our CRA, maintenance and repair, we pretty much spent most of the 50,000 this year, but it's because we did Messer Pavilion and something else.
Sands Park equipment.
Sands Park, so we don't expect to have to do those next year, so we've moved it back down to 25,000. Advertising, 1,500, we were at 1,000 last year. Other charges and obligations, we kept that at the same, $500. Books, publication, and membership, 1,000, it's the same as last year. Legal counsel, consulting, and contract services, 3,000, kept it the same. Our media and website, $1,000. Our street signs and lot cleanup, we had a lot in there last year, and we don't anticipate, I don't think we spent it this year, and we don't anticipate on spending that much next year, so 25,000.
And let's see, last year we spent, or this year, this budget year, 4,500. That's all we've spent this year in that line item. And this street signs and lot cleanup and the other maintenance and repair, those would be mostly used by your landscape maintenance or your maintenance, district maintenance person, you know, to perform certain duties that need to be performed.
Even the lot cleanup, most of the times when we tore the house down, those run, what, $1,500 or so $2,000. So I think with 25,000, that still is plenty of money to do plenty of cleanup.
Yeah, 50,000 with the smallest staff as we have is kind of high to try and expect to get done in 1 year.
Yeah.
We didn't put anything for murals in there. It was $20,000 this year. If y'all want to put some mural money, we do have money in there that could be a project.
Well, we do have, Mr. Bo is interested in potentially getting a mural, so I would like to have some in there. In case we find a good spot. And I know the Carrabelle Marina, they were open to discussing a mural on their building as well.
Okay. Well, can we just mark that, highlight that, and let's go through these other things? I mean, the mural is a good thing, but it's not something that is like needed to be done, like pay your utility bills. So let's just go through and then we'll come back to that.
Cancel at the bottom.
Wherever it went.
There you guys. Okay, your pole mounted Christmas decorations?
Yeah, I was trying to highlight.
Oh, okay.
Christmas decorations, we moved those up. the 3,000, it's 2,500, but with everything's went up, so, I'll try to get that as cheap as we can, but I think we need to do extra $500 in there. So we did not add anything for the, waterworks building or the Veterans Park or the facade grants. Facade grants, we've had in there 128,000 this year, I think that was for 8. We've done
6.
5 or 6, 5 I was gonna say. So,
You know, we might want to reduce that amount, the number that we offer. So if it looks like we need, we're not even obligated. It says in the facade grant brochure, if money is available. So, you know, we can have that program and you can offer it. You could offer 8 grants, 10 grants, 2 grants, whatever you have the money for, or none. So, you know, we can just go through this a few minutes here and
so
see.
we have, some capital projects here that, you've already seen the list that we put up. Flag poles, fish waste, plant shade trees. We'll just leave that for now and keep going so we see what we have left at the end.
I think the flagpole, that, someone looked at it, I can't remember who told me, but it could be, all it needs is re-roping, and I don't think that really needs to be.
Now Dustin went and looked at it and he said that it was very minor.
I don't think that needs to be a project. We can do that from the maintenance and repair.
That's what Miss Tamara was telling me, yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't need to be a project, really. Let's just take that one out of there.
Promotions, we were at 2,200 last year. I did have Lori with the chamber inquired about whether there was any money for small business Saturday, and we haven't ever budgeted for that in the past, but we're thinking maybe just put 300 in here for the first year, if you guys were okay with that, so that they have a little bit of promotion money. So that would put that up to 2,500. Holiday on the Harbor, Keisha we put 7,500, but he came back with 6,000. So,
For the same as last year.
the same as last year.
So instead of 5,000, it'll be 6,000?
It'll be 6.
Instead of the 7,500 that was originally thought it might be.
Do
And
we-
I wouldn't go all the way back to 6 just in case.
Go 65?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, just in case something between now and then.
Yeah, my thoughts was to leave it at 75, the way things have changed and goes.
Yeah.
We could do that.
With that, my thought is to leave it at 75. Because, you know, it's gone wild every time she calls to get something done with
They're
it.
crazy.
And he said, well, I could do a smaller show for what you paid last year, but we dealt with that at 4th of July.
We did.
And, didn't go, you know,
Yeah.
Do y'all want to leave it at 75?
That's my
Doesn't
thought.
matter to me.
It's up to the board.
Okay.
Everybody?
Don't let them know now what it is.
No.
Okay.
Marine Street renovations are 3-year budget commitments. We've done 25 in the past, and that's what we're required to do. We have to put a $25,000 match. So if we're just thinking to put another 25 with it in case it's up, you know, we need more money because
It's going to be.
it's gonna be.
I'm in agreement with that. I'd already thought about that too.
Maintenance and total administrative budget at 249,000, and we have 244,655. $244,655 is left.
I think for the Marine Street renovations, I think we really should put more money with that because the prices have gone up so much. I mean, I just have no idea how much more it's gonna cost than, you have the $650,000 grant and 50,000 goes to Fred Fox and about 50 to Russell. So that leaves you $550,000, and I don't know, will we get fencing with that? I don't know how much we're gonna get for
Well, see, that's what I'm unclear on, is exactly what we're gonna get for that.
550, right
Yeah.
around in there. And we're gonna remodel, we're gonna, plan to, certainly do all the street lights, and that was an $80,000, now that's probably $100. And tear out the whole boardwalk and restart, because the substructure is basically no good there. Redo sidewalk, I think from maybe around the, pavilion on over to the, ramp. Redo the railing there, redo, irrigation.
That fencing, to redo all that fencing is gonna be costly. Because I know I had mentioned, and I don't know where it's at, I really don't, on the grant. I had mentioned when we redo or replace that fencing, is to do it in stainless steel and anchor it solidly to that concrete. That would be expensive.
It varied.
But it would be durable, and it would be.
It would be there forever, for a long time.
But anyway, long story short, I'm kind of in the same boat that I
How
think
much-
that we need to put more money into
How much
that.
do we have already in it?
50,000.
Oh,
Plus.
just 50,000?
Well, I mean, we have,
No, I mean-
this year we have 25.
No, total, how much do we have saved from all the years?
It just keeps rolling forward.
Yeah, we haven't spent any of it, so it rolls forward.
Goes forward, yeah.
So we have, if.
We haven't started on the grant yet, but the
We haven't
grant,
saved 25,000 every year.
the grant's only gonna give us about 550 to spend, but to be able to, we have to at least match the 25, but we can put in however much more
We
additional
want to.
we want to make the project. Well,
So the grant is gonna give us about 550,000, plus we're required to put 25 in it, so we'll have 575,000.
I was thinking we have been putting 25 away each year.
No, it just has been, that
We're
amount
just
been
waiting
rolling
for-
over, that same amount has been committed each
Yeah,
year.
we should definitely.
So I don't know, I can't tell you how much. Send another
150?
25?
Well, Keisha, I mean, I thought both ways. Yeah, throw a big chunk at it, but I don't know that we may need that money somewhere else. I mean, I had thought about 75 myself, and that's just what I had thought.
think
But
it
yeah,
was
I'd love to do
75.
150.
But like in the middle of the year, can we change it?
Oh, yeah, we
Yes,
always
uh-huh.
reallocate money.
And 75 might come close to doing the street light, but that's probably gonna be 100 though.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Street lights, but it would be something.
Or do we wanna just agree on minimum 75, and then if we need more later, we can
Yeah. we can-
adjust?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I'd love to throw about 500,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking we were putting money aside every year that I saw it on the budget. I didn't realize we were waiting until it
Starts. and
approved or
It should
whatever.
start any minute.
We said that for a year.
Yeah, the thing about it though is you can't bank money away
Yeah,
like that in
I
a
didn't-
CRA, yeah.
You're not supposed to roll any over, and we know that. So let's look back up here at these projects that are suggested, and, you look through there, and what do we really need? Does the fencing need to be repaired at Sands Park?
Yes,
Okay,
it's really bad.
It's
Uh-huh.
terrible.
okay. I mean, I know that, but I'm just asking y'all, what do we need?
All
What-
of it.
And I mean, you
every-
figure it's been there 10 years.
13.
13 years.
And I've asked if some of the boardwalk fencing could be used for that. I don't know if it can, but
It's even older. The boardwalk fencing's older than the Sands Park fence.
okay.
But it's just that wrought iron, so it rusts and,
Well, it's, and just my comment real quick, it's out of the same material that fencing is down on Marine Street. It's very thin, and it's pretty as it can be. It's very aesthetically attractive, but it's not really real durable.
Right.
And for it being out in the public like that, whatever we put back needs to be strong and durable.
What did we put, is Tilly Miller wood or that PVC?
We went with a chain link.
Chain
Tilly
link.
Miller.
Oh, I was picturing the white fence.
There used to be a wooden split rail fence.
But that chain link at Tilly Miller is very nice, and what was that, about 13 or 15?
And this
So-
park is it as big
It's probably
Bigger.
comparable.
land-wise?
Yeah, that's
That's
It's
gonna be
probably
a bigger
comparable.
fence.
That's coated, chain link, does look like, and for the park, that'd probably be pretty good,
Yeah.
more durable.
And I would probably put $25,000 at that, or 30 if you were gonna do the chain link coated. Well, and I don't know about the other fencing, I have no idea what, but, somewhere around in there, 25 or 30, maybe even 35.
I don't know what the length of that fencing,
It's
Yes.
bigger than, at Tilly Miller, we
already had some of it fenced in.
but we just decided to go ahead and fence in the pavilions and everything to stop the vandalism,
right,
try to help stop it. But it might be around that same size,
I would say 25,
25,
I would think.
okay.
Then I can call around and get some prices.
We definitely need the fence.
If we did, I don't even remember, if we were at 15,000 on Tilly Miller, and that would be another 10,000.
Yeah. All right, and,
And then we don't really know about the fish disposal until we hear from Russell.
yeah, I've got a lot of concerns about that.
I know.
do we, the unmet needs at Northwest Avenue B, that's something that we don't need, you know, it's not needed. It's just something that we've already got the engineered plans for, so y'all, you know, keep in your back of your
I
mind.
do believe we need to fix the stormwater at Avenue B and 11th Street. That's been
That's the
ongoing.
Oxidine.
That's the
Oh, I
property
do
with the
too.
oxidines, it's been ongoing for years.
That's the reason why I was saying I'd like to have Russell get back tuned into that. Yep.
Do you
And-
wanna,
Do we have any clue what that could run at all?
no, it could be, it's that.
It might be cheaper for us to pay to have their building raised.
I know it,
I'm just saying, you know, it's in a hole and I've seen it
It's
done,
not-
you know,
Yeah.
have buildings
Yeah.
raised.
Right.
It's
that-
not the inside the building though, it's the shop and everything on the bottom.
That's
The
what-
building's raised, the building's up high.
Oh, yeah.
But they put their restroom on the bottom
Bottom.
without a building permit.
Right.
Everything there is without a building permit.
And they have a shop, a wood shop or something down there.
And
Yeah,
they
that's-
would have had to have raised it had they come.
Or had flow through vents, just, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was informed, is getting into his tools in his workshop or whatever.
But it was all done without a building permit. Keisha wouldn't have let that happen, they would have had to. So now it's up to the city or the CRA and or both to repair that. Although it was,
Well, I would like, just my point, I'll say again, what I've said, I'd like to look at it and see what we can do to help.
I think a design, a consultation with Russell would be a good thing. Do you think, Courtney, maybe we should just add another $1,000 to the engineering consultation? Do you think that would help, another 1,000, 1,500? Because this will be a major project if we were to undertake this, and or the city. It's almost something like you go out for a grant. It's gonna be major. And we might.
And we can ask Russell when he's here for the CRA meeting, when he,
We might have to, you know, find out, let him do some studies on it and some engineered plans and give us an idea. It might be something that we put on a budget next year as a major project.
Yeah, because I got a ton of questions about that, and I'll let y'all settle down.
What are those questions?
Well, like if I bought a piece of property that was known to flood, and then I build on it illegally, how would it be the city's responsibility to fix it?
Now, like to the floodplain manager.
I mean, technically, we could make them remove it, you know, but I know the building that he's talking about, his shop, was not built to be a shop, you know,
It
it's
was
been
a
there.
carport,
Yeah,
carport or pole barn or something.
pole barn that goes.
Somehow it got
But
closed in.
it wouldn't have been able to be built like, it would have to have flow-through vents and, you know, it's in the,
Yeah.
and then that's right where everything flows to because it's obviously going to the river.
And then that's his claim is that when we went through and did all the work on Avenue B and added the curb, that's what caused his problem, because that he didn't have that flooding before. But when we put the curbs in there, that it shoots straight down the
It
road.
channeled it down there, and that's the
That's
thing
what
that I
we need
wanna
to
look
have
at.
Russell
Yeah.
look at?
Yeah.
We
Okay.
had to put an inlet and piping to pipe it probably to the river or whatever his suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever that, like if we could hook up to the FDOT, stormwater drainage, but that's a lot of permitting.
And waiting.
You know, we had some work done, the city paid for it over here at the corner of the Dollar General, Southeast Fifth Street.
Fifth Street,
We did a lot of work there and had to even go back and had to.
$56,000.
Yes, thank you for reminding, and that was a simple job.
That was very
That-
short.
That was very, and then we even, when the Dollar General was built, a year before we knew this other project was gonna be able to happen, we went ahead and put a culvert pipe under the Dollar General's driveway. That was my idea, and Russell went to them and they said fine, that their contractors would do it, and that was about $5,000 to put that culvert pipe under there, so that we wouldn't have to cut through their new driveway when we did get to that project. So there's, you know, and someone has said.
And that was just a ditch in the ground, not laying pipe.
Under and tearing up the road, trying to lay pipe out to the river. And now, right there, you come into that property, there's their driveway, but to the left is like a triangle that's owned by someone else. I was looking at that yesterday or over the weekend. So if you were gonna put pipe, where that cross is, where that person passed away, that property belongs to someone else. If you're gonna put pipe under there, you're gonna have to get their approval as well. So, and someone, I think Russell, no, not Russell, William Massey used to work on it all the time when it would rain. We'd be out there in the rain, working on it. But he was afraid, there's a pipe that goes under there, and he was afraid to open that up.
And that was even
We
before
had
Avenue
it,
B.
we had it scoped and cleaned out. There's a pipe right here on the corner, and it runs under the road. Maybe it's up here, but it runs under the road, and Dustin had them come out and they jetted it up until it got to the very end and it wouldn't go. And the man was scared to go any further to push it because he said that would collapse this whole driveway area through here. So we didn't continue with that. And I'm thinking you need an inlet back here. I don't know on which side of the road, but there, like I said, there's already one up here, but
So
it's
which
not.
part are they talking about where we paved and then it started messing them up?
They were getting
So
water
we came in
before
here,
that.
this
though.
road was already paved on Avenue B,
Uh-huh,
but we added the sidewalk and the curbs.
okay.
So we added curb and gutter. And then most of it has gutter system, so it runs down, but, there's nothing down on this end of it.
There's a gutter system, that comes down each road, but not 11th Street, and then it hooks into the DOT.
All of this, we did all the way from 11th Street, all the way down to 4th.
I think I might have the unmet needs here, but it would take some time for me to sort it out. Maybe not. On doing, like 6th Street does not have a gutter system, and, new curb, okay.
I had a video, but I don't have it on this computer, but basically the water is shooting down here and then it's coming down the street and over into his property here. But, this whole area right here is flooded when it really rains really hard.
Okay, so here, there's no stormwater drainage on Ninth Street, because we didn't pave Ninth Street back on that Avenue B project. And it's to put in some stormwater drainage improvements along Ninth Street, which would be converted to from a rural swell ditch design to an urban underground pipe. And that was $18,500 back in 2015 or 2016 when we did that. And then Sixth Street, converting from well, that's to put a road in there. So just to go to an underground pipe back then was $18,500, and that was coming from Avenue B down to the FDOT drainage down there at 98. So you could probably go double that now. So it'd probably be $30,000 or $40,000, and that stretches longer. So it'd probably be somewhere around there, $40,000 or $50,000 to hook up to that. But you know, we spent 56 and just did a swell.
That's it. I remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's not counting engineering
Yeah.
and, you know, all that, as well, permitting, and that's just the cost.
Who needs a permit?
So we definitely need to have Russell look at this before we
Yes.
have any idea.
Well, that's my
what-
idea, is to have Russell look at it and give us some professional.
Yes.
That's what I think too.
And we also are gonna put some, hopefully are gonna put some money in for stormwater in the American Rescue Plan money, so,
Yeah.
you know, we may could use some of that money as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, we could add to, my suggestion would be to add to the consulting services,
I
which is
just
I
got
agree
Russell,
with that.
and let him start working on it, and then if we all agree on the American Rescue Plan to do some stormwater management, then we can take a chunk of that money to fund.
Well, I did talk to Mr. Oxendine yesterday, and he wanted to know, you know, what are you gonna do? And I said, well, we've been discussing it, and I think we're gonna, you know, make some plans to try to do something there. I didn't guarantee anything, but I did let him know that government moves slowly, and even if we did agree to do it, it could take some time.
It could take, well, a year, for sure, just spread out if we started working on it today.
He had the same discussion with me.
So what are we gonna do, you know, if we fix this and then they construct something else down there and they want, you know, how do we manage that? But let's put,
I moved that up to 4,500, from
Okay.
3,000 to 4,500, and that leaves us 193, 155.
Courtney, I have a question about one piece of equipment back there. Did I see, if we hire a new employee, a zero turn more than $950?
It has $960, but there is that trailer money that's in there.
Okay, well, anyway, I just wanted to make the point that a zero turn commercial grant is gonna be at least $8,000.
And we added an additional 15.
Yeah, we brought it up for 100, so I think.
yeah, so we took it up to 100, yeah,
To what?
to 185,
Yeah.
okay.
But anyway, I was just making that point.
Yeah, we had it in there at 960.
They're expensive. I bought one last year. But, and I couldn't afford that brand. But anyway, a decent commercial brand, which is what someone working like that would need, is gonna be $8,000 to $10,000. Yep.
So, okay, all right, so we're picking through this here. We got that one done then, for now. Did you hear from Chester?
Chester's is estimating 5,000. He thinks that maybe that's for the,
Memorial.
yeah, the memorial,
5,000.
the Mariners Memorial. He thinks that could be a little on the high side, that he's trying to get a lot of the stuff donated, but, 5,000 is a good number.
I was gonna say I'd leave it on the high side.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put that there because we pretty much told him we were gonna do that. So
So
now,
now we're 188, 155.
All right, what do we need to do? We know we want to rehab the water plant facility inside. Some money can be, I think we put that as a suggestion on the American Rescue Plan as well. We've already allocated an additional money to the Marine Street revitalization. We're not gonna do the unmet needs. We're not, we did the rehab of the CRA district maintenance. We put Sands Park fencing. Benches are nice, but, oh gosh, we don't really need them. Plant shade trees. Dustin did remind me that the shade trees around the walk path
Beavers get
cause the beavers to come, you know. So then we have the Veterans Park Flagpole Memorial Solution for fish waste disposal and repairs and resurfacing of Gray Avenue.
The flagpole, we can do that in sections, but I think we should allow some money to it.
This is just me. For the rest of you guys, you have your opinions. And I'm gonna try to convince you. I would love to move on forward with that project, complete that project. I think it would be a great addition to our Veterans Park and a tribute to our military service. I would love to finish that project. We have flagpoles that's already purchased that's sitting right out here. And that's just me now, but I would love to finish that project.
Get the big circle done, and then we can add the extra sidewalks at a later time, but the big.
But if we have the money and can afford it, I would love to finish that project.
I will say we've got approximately 20 in it already with the purchase of the flagpoles, consulting, landscape architectural designs last year, and then we've done about 2,600, 2,100 in it this year with engineering consulting. So we've got close to 20 in
And
there.
that's the other thing, is we keep paying Russell to do different things, and I would love to settle on something and move forward with it. That's just me.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can do that.
when we use Russell, it's $300 an hour.
Yeah.
So, but like when he's looking up, you know, this Muffin Monster, it's $300 an hour. So that's why you find me, I'm working, always searching, you know, doing a lot of work at home, so we don't have to pay the attorney or the engineer mostly.
I think, excuse me, I think that Russell's gonna give us some information at 1:30.
And that's what I was looking at, because it is on the agenda for the draft.
Yeah,
That's
So I
correct.
think we can come in under there and make some changes if we need to.
yeah, because we're gonna, this item to approve this, we can't approve it now because it's a workshop. But
That's
to
correct.
approve the budget is on the agenda, so we can discuss it and make some more changes.
Yeah, he's supposed to bring us back, we were waiting for bids at the last meeting, so
That's
hopefully
right.
this time he has a number.
What do we have left here? 188,000.
188,
So-
155.
I mean, we could, the barefoot lane, that's something that's gonna need to be done. I think did I mention to y'all before that there's, just to keep in mind for next year, Southeast Avenue, Southeast 3rd Street. It's got a couple of pretty good dips going in it right there to the east of Sands Park, right there.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, that's gonna sink in even more and be worse than Gray Avenue by next year. But I think, we will probably need to do Gray Avenue, Veterans Park, and, you know, then it's a toss-up between, do you wanna put money to the water plant, or do you wanna put money to a fish waste disposal?
Me, I'd love to put money toward the water plant.
Yeah.
That's me. The fish waste disposal, I can't come to in my mind,
I know.
a resolution.
I
What I
want to,
really
but I
wanna
have
do is
to-
throw my hands up and say, FWC, you furnish an officer down there to stop them from throwing fish in the water.
Because we didn't make the
Water.
rule, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
But it causes a big,
yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I was just
a big
making a
mess.
comment, yeah. Yeah.
And then it kills your shorebirds. They gotta get it in deep water, you know, just throwing it on the shore like that attracting birds is not the way to go.
And I'd sit here and think about it, and I thought about the more that we as a city take, if you will, command to do things there, the more responsible we become.
That's true.
Exactly.
And anyway, I'll stop.
And it's
right
just
there.
like people
So,
ask you to put more garbage cans out. Well, you put more garbage, now we are becoming a free garbage service.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna pick it up off the ground or
Yeah.
take it out of the garbage can, either way,
But
the garbage
hopefully-
isn't going anywhere.
Hopefully they don't put their kitchen bags on the ground, although they do sometimes. Let's see.
You got the facade grants too.
Yeah, thank you for reminding.
And murals.
What did we have I mean, this past year we had 5 or 6, and the year before was about the same, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe we should just lower it down to 6,
5, I would say.
5.
Yeah, for
What
now.
is that?
Well,
Facade
then just
grants.
expand the district, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe not go the lowest, but
How much would 5 be? And I wanted to say also that I think the stainless steel fencing, I've been thinking about that since you mentioned it. Because you know, you see it all over Tallahassee.
Well, you see it in a lot of places, you see
It's
it in Mexico
beautiful.
Beach, you see it, yeah, you see it because of its durability.
yeah.
We can ask him to get a price on that. I would really like to see that. You
I
know,
had
as I'm
mentioned it.
picturing it in my mind.
I had mentioned it to Russell, and I don't know where he's at on it, but I had mentioned
It would be nice.
5 facade grants would be 80,000.
6 would be 96.
And you have 188,000. And, you know, I'm just gonna say we can't talk about it here, but, you know, kind of keep in mind what you wanna think to put towards the water plant from the American Rescue Plan funding. I mean, we could even do the Gray Avenue from that, but we know we're gonna do some stormwater projects.
Let's do 5 facade grants.
Okay, well, we'll just see, we can put it in there and see. And how much is that?
We can always come back and add more too if we don't complete a project or it looks like we won't get to one.
You said 80?
80,000 for 5.
Okay.
That leaves us 108, 155. And we haven't discussed murals, repairs to the Gray Avenue,
That part.
that part.
Well, I mean, personally, the murals are nice, but we're not obligated to do it. We can keep the mural program, and if we have money, or if we could do, you know, look in the middle of the year, maybe we could do a small $5,000 mural. It's quite a chore to do the advertising, to get, you know, and to come up with a design. I'm telling you, I did it. I was the one that did those 2 murals, and I'm telling you, it's quite a chore.
I think
So-
Veterans Park light poles would be a beautiful nighttime display of a mural.
Oh, you want us to paint that? Just don't do the-
No, just light it up, it's gonna be
We
pretty.
are doing
No, but I
some
think, you know-
beautification, so maybe we skip murals this year.
Yeah, I do. I think we don't have to do that. If something comes out,
So everybody agrees, let's skip the mural.
Yeah.
Well, and it gives us time too, I think, to see how these are gonna hold up.
yeah.
Because we're gonna be responsible to maintain these
Yes.
things, so you wanna be able to see, you know, if,
Someone's right.
uh-huh.
That's right.
But it's
You get
quite
too many of them,
It's, you have to have your request for proposals, then you know we all have to sit here and have constructive debate over the drawings they bring, and people get so upset about it, they quit the CRA board, and so, and then you've gotta have your agreement between the property owner that's gonna have the mural, you gotta have your agreement between the artwork team, and it's a whole bunch of work. So, anyway, you know, I wouldn't mind going ahead with the Vets Park, but we've got 108,000, and it could come close to that.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Russell had given us, and that's the reason why we have been procrastinating, if you will, is because that bid come in around 50, and he has, well, again, we're gonna talk about it this afternoon.
88, so I would say it would take, it may take 100. On the waterworks plant now, for your American Restore Act funding, it is suggested to do items that are lasting. You know, not to certain, you can't give, you know, that you can give raises with it, but not do that, because then the next year you have to maintain
You have
those
to
raises
maintain.
year after
Where to
year.
get that money from?
But you do projects like the cemetery, which is a lasting improvement to the community. The waterworks plant is a lot of things, a lot of people want that. The historians want improvements done there, and that would be a lasting improvement to the community. So you know, you could build maybe a new roadway or something that needed to be, you know, something that all the community can appreciate and enjoy and get some benefit out of it.
What did we have for the old waterworks building last year? I know we had something for the roof or something set aside for it, but I don't.
Not this past year, we had put 40, but that was a couple of years ago. Then we found out it wasn't in the CRA district, so we didn't.
Oh, that's
fund it.
right, it wasn't on this budget, it was the city budget. I mean, I would like to see something go towards this so that once we get the all clear, we can get going on it.
I'd love to see it, same thing, I'd love to see it roofed,
Right.
and then somewhat of a cleanup and bring it back up to standard, so to speak. Maybe not a total overhaul, but
And
bring
that'll
it back
have to
up
be
to
in
standard, so to
pieces.
speak, yeah.
But I'll remind you again, you have your American Rescue Plan.
Hey, I'm listening.
Also, you know, only, you know, if you're gonna put 50 or 60 to it from anywhere,
Right.
it's gonna take time to get that done. You may not be able to even get, you know, how much you're gonna be able to get done in 1 year. So how much do you wanna put towards it, you know, in 1 year?
I think in 1 year, we can at least get it roofed and get the guts cleaned out of it, because, you know, it's just full of.
Well, I'm hearing some contractors are slowing down now, and they are asking, I mean, looking for work. That doesn't mean they're all done, but I mean, some of them are looking for work.
It's not taking as long as it was.
Yeah.
So basically, there's 3 things up for grabs here. You got your water plant, your roadway repairs on Gray Avenue, and your Veterans Park flagpole memorial. I'm gonna go out on the limb here and say I think that the roadway repairs on Gray Avenue are gonna be probably $50,000. So they're gonna do a geotechnical, they're gonna have to fill in there. Something's sinking, and it may not be that much. It's
I think
about,
it-
what, 2 blocks?
I think it's gonna be more. I do. Those spots that are sinking on Gray Avenue, they're in the area where that old muck bog is, that sand has been filled in. And anyway, it's another Russell thing. He's the engineer, and I think it's gonna be more, but
Now,
that's just my assumption.
It's not where that culvert is it?
It goes across the culvert.
The culvert may not be, we'd be having the same problem there as we had with the culvert on Ryan Drive?
Good. No.
Not that bad?
No, the
Oh,
sinkhole, there's one of them on the west side of the culvert and 2 of them on the east side of the culvert. Those depressions that we're talking about.
And I ask you, because you drive on it more than I do, you do.
Have we checked to see if there's any old vacuum lines there?
But Russell asked that question, and that was one thing that I would assume that he would give Charlie on. Yeah. Because that's the first thing he said. Do we
A
have
lot of
any-
times when they're abandoned, they fill up with sand and it
Yeah.
moves it,
Yeah.
crosses the road.
So I know if it was a culvert issue, we would go up to the 120 range.
Right. I don't think it's a culvert issue.
Okay. So, but you have those 3 things, your water plant, your road repair, and the Veterans Park flagpole. You got $100,000, $108,000, and I know the water plant facility could take all that. Veterans Park is gonna come you might have 20 or 30 left from Veterans Park, and your road repairs. I say 50, Commissioner Millinger says more. And we have a guest here in the audience. Did you have anything you wanted to say about our budget works here?
No, I was just coming in. I'm Thayer Spencer, and we have Harry Ye, so we're just gonna start opening a restaurant over here next to, we just signed a lease with Gaddy LLC over here. So I'm a new resident here, and I ran for state senate and stuff in Alabama, so I was just taking part in what's going on.
Okay, tell me your name.
Thayer, Thayer, Spencer. I've met the gentleman to the left of you before, and the lady to the right, pretty much everybody here.
All right.
And what building did you say?
It's Mr. Gaddy LLC bought it next to the plaza, next to the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
So I have a lease to purchase for that one.
Okay, the U-shaped building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I just signed a contract yesterday for lease to purchase, so we're just gonna be moving stuff in, and we'll get with the health department and the city and everything. So I don't.
The whole building?
Just the left half, because the other guys are in the right side and everything. So just the left side.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And that is in the CRA district as well.
Okay.
But as you can see, we don't have any money.
Right. I think, I talked to the milliners at one time. I was gonna get one down there, but he leased that one to someone else, but he has some grant that he was looking for facade, I think you guys get in the city or something.
Yeah, we did, where the Gina's Flower Shop is, we did a facade
Right.
grant for that.
Right,
And it
that's
really
nice.
improved the looks on that. It was a great
On that one
thing.
building across the street.
So, well, good to meet you, Mr. Spencer.
If
Thank
you guys
so-
ever need any help with wastewater treatment or anything, I have a couple of treatment plants over there, so I have my class 3 if you need any knowledge on that or anything.
Okay.
So,
You have a class 3 certification.
yes, ma'am.
Oh, so were you looking for employment?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. No, just networking with you guys. If you
All
need
right,
anything,
okay. Well,
willing to
you
help.
never know.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw that out for help.
Recruiting.
Yeah. All right, so back to our, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't,
No, thank you. I didn't know this meeting was on. I was like, oh gosh, the meeting's here.
Yeah, I don't want to overlook public comment.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know public comment was supposed to be at the very beginning. Thank you.
And you're welcome. Now, our regular CRA meeting will be at 1:30, and we're just trying to have our workshop here now for our next year's budget. But you got your, I'll remind you again, you can put money from your American Rescue Plan on the water plant, and so that leaves you your
That
road.
sounds like that might be our best option, right?
I guess so. Road repairs and Veterans Park. Your Veterans Park is gonna be, well, we already got a quote on it, so,
How much money do we have left at this point?
108.
108,000.
Oh, we need more than that?
Do you think that we would actually get either one of the two completed in one budget year? Should we just half the money?
Which one are those now?
You know,
I mean, I think you could.
you think we could get it completed?
Which one, what you mean?
Which
Just like
two projects?
The resurfacing, I mean,
I mean,
which,
it's a whole
they're already
year, it's not
mobilized
grant
now,
money.
so that one would be,
It's not grant money, we don't have to wait.
Wait,
I mean,
Uh-huh.
so I think you could get both of those done in a year.
Well, let me ask this, why can't we go to Veterans Park, which you know I'm gonna try to promote, and we can put the remainder of it toward that resurfacing? If we need additional, supplement it with American Rescue dollars.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Can we do that? Because Veterans Park definitely can be
And
completed.
we've already basically started on that one.
Yeah.
Because we've spent a good chunk, but I think we need to get that done.
well, in the Barefoot Lane one, or the resurfacing, we could
Yeah.
use the people that are already mobilized, right? So,
If it's under certain amount, I don't know.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Or can it be a change order?
I think
Change
you could
order,
do a
yeah,
Change
change
order if
order.
we get it done while we're here.
Do we have log money? Can't believe I forgot log money.
I don't know what we have, but we should have.
We should
lots.
have some.
Should have some log money, but we spent a lot of money on Southeast Fifth Street and Ryan Drive.
Yeah, we still had more.
Yeah.
So we have 83 in the log, and what is Ryan Drive, 28?
Have we already paid that?
No, it hasn't been paid yet. None of those side projects have been done yet. So you could have money there for, both of these,
supplement.
could
Yeah.
do, Gray Avenue.
I agree.
Now, I'm obligated, because I've been called out on Facebook, that we didn't include the Space Force, you know, and I had mentioned that to y'all last year, that there was another military branch for the military flagpole memorial, and that is the Space Force, so I'm just reminding you of that again.
I thought about that too, because I saw that, and this is a veterans park. There aren't currently any Space Force veterans.
Okay, all right, whatever y'all say, I will report back.
If we go start changing design right now,
It'd be
then,
another year.
yes.
Well, not just that, and it's more money, and not that I just want to ignore that.
Mhm.
You definitely want to consider it, but I'll even ask Russell the question.
Mhm.
But yeah, we don't want, anyway, I'll stop.
I just didn't, I mean, it just doesn't make sense because there aren't any.
I think, you know, we have, most of our citizens think that the mayor is a strong mayor and the mayor is the manager, and they don't understand that the mayor can't really make any more, has no more authority than any commission member. And I take a lot of beating up, and I'm gonna be, you know, asking a lot of questions in public, you know, why these things aren't done, so that the commissioners can start sharing some of this beating up process.
Well,
Understandable.
let me share with you, Mayor.
Okay.
You get all that behind the scenes
Yeah.
that we don't know,
Mhm.
but, and I can speak for myself, I think I can speak for the rest of these commissioners, I get a lot of that too.
Yeah, I know it, it's something. But you have no more authority than?
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
it's a group effort.
We
But
can,
anyway,
we can
I
have our
can be
share.
there too.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
All right, so let's do the flagpole thing, Veterans Park Memorial Flagpole, let's put $90,000 there. We got a quote, and it was under the 90, and we better not get quotes any higher.
I think he was gonna go back and ask for new quotes and split it up so
Yeah.
that we had more options to decrease the initial cost.
He may come back with a lower price today, but we
Right.
can change that at the
Yeah.
regular meeting if we need to.
And then if we need to do that, we will add that extra money to,
The repairs.
yeah,
So we're gonna put the 18,155,
put 90,000 under the military flagpole.
18.
No, I mean what's left.
Towards
Yeah.
the paving.
Towards the
Great
paving.
Uh-huh.
And then waterworks, we're gonna move to the American Rescue Plan.
Mhm.
All right, there was something else we were gonna ask Russell this afternoon. Y'all remember what it was?
Yes. The Oxidine area and.
The military
Storm.
In the flagpole.
and then the resurfacing, what's caused, you know, if there's any, I wonder if there's vacuum lines.
Look over Ray Avenue, is that not all?
Is that, if it's a vacuum, old vacuum?
Yeah.
Well, basically, they took them offline,
Uh-huh.
and so those vacuum lines will fill up with sand, and it displaces it from the road.
Okay.
And it'll, or sidewalk.
Is that easy to repair? Of course, you have to do resurfacing.
Right, you just have to build it back to normal.
Yeah, I'm sure Russell talked to Charlie about that, so, or Justin.
Okay, so you got 100 towards the CRA district maintenance, 10 to accounting, 3 to training, 3,000 to travel, 3,000 to utilities,
5 for utilities.
excuse me, 5, yes, and 5 to our liability, 25 for maintenance and repair, 1,500 for advertising, 500 for other charges. Nothing for office supply, $1,000 for books, publication, and membership, $3,000 to legal counsel, $4,500 to consulting. Street signs and lot cleanup, media, $1,000, and website. Street signs and lot cleanup, $25,000. Christmas decorations, $3,000. Flagpole memorial, $90,000. Facade grants, $80,000. Mariners Memorial, $5,000. Repairs and resurface Gray Avenue, $18,155. Sands Park fencing, $25,000. 2,500 for promotions, our small events, 7,500 for Holiday on the Harbor, 75,000 to the Marine Street renovations, and a total administrative budget $493,655. We may make more money than that because the millage rate of the city and the county may be higher. I don't think the county's going to be higher. It can only be lower, because that's what they advertised. We may carry over more money, and we probably won't spend every bit that was, I want to remind you again, we're not supposed to carry over money. So there may be, you may have 25,000 to 40, more that we can look at reallocation, the first of the year.
Yeah, when we get our balance forward numbers, that's hard.
When we're done, can you email that to us? Mine's all scribbled.
Yeah, mine is too. So does that seem okay for now, and we can, or we want to agree in principle and take this up again at the CRA meeting under that agenda item? And we may make some changes then after we hear from Russell, just a few.
I'll wait to email it until after our CRA meeting in case we change it.
Okay.
Well, this is kind of like the process anyway. This is our preliminary. Yeah. So,
All right, and we still have our list of projects that we can keep to refer to for next year, or if we find we have money from somewhere, we can look at these. Okay, so are we ready to adjourn then, and we'll see each other in another 2 hours?
Sounds good.
Okay, we're adjourned.
You going to fix that?